So comfortable at third base with the tough ones, and that was a tough play.
2 out. Here's McNeil, who grounds it out his first time up. And Jeff rockets one.
What if I told you that in the next 40 minutes, you're going to witness defensive plays so slick, they look like they're done with eyes closed? That you'll see home runs so massive, they silence entire stadiums? And that you'll witness games so wild, they go down to the wire in the most dramatic fashion possible? Welcome back to Baseball Extra, your home for the most in-depth analysis of the action around the league. This isn't just a highlight reel. We're going to break down the skill, the power, and the pure drama that made this week unforgettable. We're talking about cannon-like throws from the outfield, epic bat flips, and some of the most clutch plays you will ever see. So grab a seat, because we're about to dive into the best MLB highlights of the week right here on Baseball Extra. We kick things off with the New York Mets, who put on an absolute clinic. Now, before we get to the fireworks, let's appreciate the leather. Look at this play at third base. The batter hits a screaming grounder, a surefire single for most. But watch the third baseman. He's so fluid, so comfortable. He makes a backhanded snag and fires a perfect strike to first. He does that with his eyes practically closed. It's pure instinct and a testament to the hours of practice these guys put in. That's a tough play made to look routine, and it saved a run early on. But the real story of this game was the Mets' offense. Let's set the scene. 2 outs, runners on base. Jeff McNeil steps up to the plate. He had already grounded out earlier, so the pressure was on. The pitcher delivers, and McNeil absolutely rockets one deep down the right field line. There was no doubt about this one, folks. The only question was whether it would stay fair. And it did. A 3-run moonshot for Jeff McNeil. You can see the energy shift in the dugout. That one swing completely changed the momentum and put the Mets in front, 3-0. What a blast. Now, let's jump to a moment that proves defense can be just as exciting as a home run. The opposing team is threatening, runner on third, less than 2 outs. A fly ball is hit to left field. Starling Marte is charging in. He makes the catch, a routine play, but the runner at third, Alvarez, decides to tag up and test his arm. This is where the magic happens. Marte plants his feet and unleashes an absolute missile to home plate. It's a perfect one-hop strike right to the catcher. The tag is applied, and he is out. An incredible throw from Marte to nail the runner at the plate. That is not just a great play. That is a game-saving, momentum-killing defensive masterpiece. A truly clutch play from one of the best outfield arms in the game. And the defensive web gems didn't stop there. Later in the game, a line drive is scorched into the left center field gap. It looks like a sure double, but out of nowhere comes Tyrone Taylor, laying out in a full extension dive to make a spectacular catch. He covers so much ground, so quickly. He is simply phenomenal in the outfield, and that play kept the opposition off the base pass and preserved the Mets' lead. Of course, the Mets' bats weren't done talking. They absolutely exploded in the 7th inning against a pitcher who had been solid all year. He'd only allowed 9 home runs all season, and the Mets tagged him for 3 in the span of just 4 batters. The floodgates opened. Mark Vientos got in on the action, cracking one to deep left center. The center fielder goes back, to the track, to the wall, but it's gone. The second home run of the night for Vientos, and the Mets extend the lead to 8-2. And just when you thought it was over, Jeff McNeil steps up again. He gets a hold of one and sends it flying deep to right field. The right fielder doesn't even bother turning around. That ball is out of here. A 2-homer game for Jeff McNeil, capping off an incredible night for the Mets, who finished with 6 long balls. An absolute offensive onslaught. From a team effort to an individual simply catching fire, let's turn our attention to Kyle Tucker. When a slugger like him gets hot, you just have to sit back and watch. Here he is with a chance to drive in the game's first run. The pitch comes in, and he doesn't just hit it. He destroys it, a towering shot to right field that just keeps carrying. It's back, it's at the wall, and it is gone. Tucker is heating up, and that's his second home run in as many games. But he wasn't finished. In a later game, Tucker steps up again. He gets a pitch he likes and drives it deep to right field once more. The outfielder, Adele, drifts back to the wall, but it's no use. That ball is gone too. It begs the question, can a player go from ice cold to scorching hot in just a couple of days? For Kyle Tucker, the answer is a resounding yes. It's amazing how a player of his caliber can find his timing and completely take over a series. Now, let's head north for what was arguably one of the craziest games of the entire season. The Toronto Blue Jays were in an absolute battle that went back and forth. First, let's talk about the power. George Springer hits a ball to deep center that got out of the park in a heartbeat. An absolute laser beam for his 22nd of the year. But the real drama came late in the game. It was a seesaw affair, and every at-bat felt crucial. The Blue Jays find themselves in a tie game. First pitch to Javier Serrano, and he comes through with a base hit. A perfect piece of first pitch hitting to tie the ball game at 4-4. The crowd is going wild. But wait, it gets even crazier. Later in the game, they're tied again, this time at 6. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Serrano steps up again. The pressure is immense. And what does he do? He calmly singles through the right side for another base hit. He is simply inevitable right now. Javier Serrano ties the game at 6. You can't write a better script than this. This is where heroes are made. And who do you want at the plate with the game on the line? How about your best hitter, Bo Bichette, who was already 3 for 5 on the day? He steps in, looking to give the Blue Jays the lead once again. He ropes a single into the outfield. Springer jogs home, and for the 4th time, the Blue Jays have the lead. It was an incredible game that took 12 innings to decide, a true testament to the resilience of this team. These are the kinds of MLB highlights that fans will be talking about for weeks. Let's keep the theme of power going. We saw some absolute tanks this week, including from some unexpected sources. Jeremiah Jackson, listen to this, smokes a ball to center field for his first ever big league homer. Wow, what a moment for the young man. He lights up the night with an absolute bomb. You can see the pure joy on his face as he rounds the bases. That's a memory that will last a lifetime. And how about Colton Cowser? He went back-to-back nights with a home run. This one timed the game at 7 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. When you get contributions from your young players like that, it energizes the entire team. Then, you have the veterans showing they've still got it. Christian Walker was in a tight spot, his team needing some two-out lightning. And did he ever deliver? He watches a pitch all the way and launches it for a home run, his 3rd straight game with a long ball. That's how you answer the call. A clutch 2-out home run to give his team a 9-7 lead. You ask for 2-out lightning, and Christian Walker provides the thunder. We now head to the Bronx, where the Boston Red Sox put on a stunning display against their rivals, the New York Yankees. Trevor Story got the party started with a shot to right field that went over the head of Stanton. That drove in 3 runs and set the tone for the day, giving the Red Sox a commanding 5-1 lead. But the story of this game was pitcher Garrett Crochet, who was simply spectacular. He was a true ace on the mound, dominating the Yankees lineup. He struck out the side in the 7th, hitting a major career milestone with his 500th strikeout. He finished the day with 11 punchouts, completely shutting down a potent offense. With the pitching dealing, the Red Sox bats just kept pouring it on. Armas Ellen hit a towering shot that landed deep in the bullpen. It became an absolute law in the Bronx, with the score ballooning to 12-1. It was a complete dismantling of the Yankees, a day they'd certainly like to forget. Let's talk about a sweet revenge story. Nestor Cortez was on the mound for the Yankees against the Dodgers, the same team that gave him a nightmare outing last October. Tonight, however, was a different story. Cortez was brilliant, tossing 6 masterful innings and keeping the Dodgers' bats quiet. You could see the satisfaction on his face. With Cortez dealing, the Padres' offense provided the insurance. Xander Bogaerts stepped up with runners in scoring position and ripped a line drive down the right field line and into the corner. That scores a pair, and the Padres take a 5-1 lead. You could feel the energy at Petco Park. The joint was absolutely jumping. A huge win, and a very satisfying one for their starting pitcher. The Philadelphia Phillies also had their hitting shoes on. In the middle of a 5-run inning, Edmundo Sosa stepped to the plate. The pitch comes, and he sends it flying. The outfielder is going back, but it is gone. A 3-run home run for Edmundo Sosa, an absolute rally capper that ignited the crowd. Later in the game, the Nationals tried to make some noise, but Tree Turner had an answer. On a payoff pitch, he launched a solo home run, his 14th of the year, to get the run right back. The Phillies would go on to win the game 6-4, evening up the series, thanks to their timely power hitting. Welcome back to Baseball Extra, where we're breaking down an incredible week of baseball. And it doesn't get much more incredible than what the Texas Rangers did. Let's start with a milestone. The first career home run for Cody Freeman. That gave the Rangers an early 2-0 lead and set the stage for what was to come. Then, Adolis Garcia, fresh off the injured list, made his return felt immediately. He hit an absolute laser home run down the left field line. What a welcome back. That bomb gave Texas a commanding 9-0 lead. It's a huge boost for a team to get a star player back, and even better when he contributes right away. But the performance of the night belonged to the young pitcher, Jack Leiter. He was perhaps the best he's ever been in his career. He recorded a career-high 10th strikeout and walked off the mound after 7 shutout innings. A truly dominant performance from the young flamethrower. Let's move over to see the Giants, who showed they can win games in every possible way. First, with some small ball. With the infield in, a ground ball just gets past the shortstop. They wave the runner around from second. He scores, and 2 runs are in a clutch piece of hitting to give the Giants a 3-1 lead. Then, we saw one of the most incredible defensive clutch plays of the season. On a bunt attempt, the catcher, William Contreras, pounces on it. He makes the catch, spins in the opposite direction, and puts the glove down right in front of home plate to tag the runner. Oh my goodness, an absolutely breathtaking play that requires incredible athleticism and awareness. And finally, the power. Casey Schmidt, who already had an RBI double, comes up and smashes one to left field. It's at the wall, and it's gone. A 3-run homer for Casey Schmidt to blow the game open, 6-1 Giants. They did it all in this one. Timely hitting, unbelievable defense, and raw power. In Detroit, Spencer Torkelson hit one of the most majestic home runs you'll see. High in the air to left center field. It's way back there. It is a torque bomb. A beautiful, high-arcing shot that landed in the visiting bullpen to give the Tigers the lead. But the game wasn't over. After the opponent got a run back, Andy Ibanez delivered a huge insurance run. He sends a fly ball back to the fence, and it's gone. A big add-on run to make it 4-2 Tigers. That's the kind of hit that lets the entire dugout breathe a little easier heading into the final inning. The Arizona Diamondbacks put on their own power display. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who has been on fire, did it again, launching a home run to make it 5-0. Then, with 2 outs, Geraldo Perdomo shot one down the left field line that went over the bullpen and out of the park. Back-to-back 2-out hits to make it 7-0 Diamondbacks. That's how you put a game away. We have to spotlight a veteran, Andrew McCutchen, playing in his 100th career game against Colorado. He got a 3-2 pitch and drove it deep to left. He knew it was fair the moment he hit it. He just stared at first base and started his jog. He cleared the deck with that one, his 12th of the year, to give the Pirate a 2-0 lead. A milestone game celebrated with a signature moment. Finally, let's wrap up with some late-game heroics and bat flips. Cody Clemens puts the Twins on top with a second-inning 2-out home run. And oh man, the bat flip. He flips it up in his right hand and twirls it toward the dugout. That's confidence right there. But the big blow came from Colson Montgomery. Bases loaded. He gets a pitch and sends it deep to right center. It's a grand slam. Colson Montgomery breaks the game wide open to make it 6-1. There is no bigger moment in baseball than a grand slam. And to close us out, a walk-off win for the A's, a runner on third, game on the line. A line drive gets down in right field. The run scores, and it's an RBI double to put the A's in front, 2-1. The team pours out of the dugout to celebrate. A perfect ending to a wild week of baseball. And that's a wrap on another incredible week around the league. From unbelievable defensive gems to game-changing home runs, we saw it all. These amazing MLB highlights remind us why we love this game. What was your favorite moment of the week? Was it Starling Mart's cannon from the outfield? Or maybe Colson Montgomery's epic grand slam? Let us know your favorite clutch play down in the comments below. If you love these deep dives and want more great baseball content, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe to Baseball Extra so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.